Ooh. Wow. Let me hear you now. Let me hear you now, guys. I told you, Sue. I don't want to tell you. Man, I've been around the block for a little bit longer than you guys. I've been around the block. I know what we're capable of doing, and I told you I liked how we played the first half. We played really good. We're just unlucky, you know. If you play like that, you continue playing, and good things happen. This, what is this? Is this the best game? I don't remember when was the last time that Vinny played this good. This was insane game. He literally took over the game. He was like, I don't need no Mbappe. I'm just gonna do it by myself. I should have get the mic before I started talking. I mean, yeah, Mohammed, I've been there, bro. I've been there through like a lot of hardship, and I know what this guy. I mean, I don't know if you listened to the halftime show, but apparently Andres said like 2-0 is nothing for Real Madrid. It's nothing. They'll come back. Um, but boy, that was Herman. How do you feel, my friend? Vinny literally tortured them today. Wow, torture, torture. Every time he would get the ball, is like terrorizing. I mean, I think he tried to kind of get Mbappe involved in the first half, and overall in La Liga, he's trying to get Mbappe involved, but he was like, you know what, guys, I need to do this by myself. Wow, wow. But he did have one misplaced pass on 2-2 that they could have scored, and it would have been game over. See, little situations like that, you guys, if you notice, situations like that kind of like make or break a game. Remember, Vinny gave away that ball and they almost scored. He didn't track back. I wanted to actually post. While I was posting, it took a little bit longer, and then we scored. Lucas. We talked about Lucas Vasquez, how he's been bad, but no, I told you guys, I never shit on Lucas Vasquez. Never. You know how long Lucas Vasquez has been playing for Real Madrid? You know how cold, ice cold that guy is? How many goals like that he scored? I mean, you gotta remember all the goals that Lucas Vasquez scored in the games like this. Gotta watch the goals tomorrow in some minutes. Barca playing with high defense line. They should be eaten alive. I mean, look, PSG struggling, didn't win. Look at this results. Juventus 0-1 lost. PSG 1-1. Arsenal barely beating. You know, teams are not doing that good as you guys think. We're like still better than most of these schmucks. Um, but Hello, Andre. I mean, I told you on halftime, you guys were like, what is this guy talking about?" I'm like, "I'm enjoying this game. I'm enjoying the style of play. Something is different today." Um, yeah, the results not in our favor, but I like the game. I like how we played, and we came out guns and blazing. I mean, we came out guns and blazing, dude. Andre, how you doing, my man? We came out. Vinny, literally, I told you. You just go watch my halftime show. Vinny's gonna get some really riled up talk in the locker room. He's gonna tell everybody, listen, you guys are, not doing your job. And he's a winner. He's a winner. He's like Ronaldo. He's like Cristiano Ronaldo. He's turning into another Ronaldo. Where am I gonna watch El Clasico? I'm gonna watch El Clasico in a bar, not with the Peña, because I stopped going with the Peña to watch the games. They're still watching, but I'm gonna go with some other people at some other bar. Um, Madrid comebacks almost like a dark art. The fear in Dortmund eyes, bro. To concede 5 goals in one half. I mean, we literally annihilated them. Like literally, they were begging for Vinny to stop, begging. I have not seen Vinny that obsessed to kind of score in a long time. He was not looking at anybody. He was like, "I'm doing this by myself." Today was one of those like, you know, one of those macho days, for Vinny. He's like, I'm not passing to anybody. I'm not gonna be doing no Mbappe passes. I'm not gonna be doing no Jude passes. I'm like, I'm doing it by myself because they basically slow him down. Unfortunately, they slow him down. He's trying to incorporate everybody, but it's just. And that Lucas Vazquez goal, man. I mean, Arda Güler, yeah, yeah. I don't know why people are. I don't know why people are like talking about Arda and playing in minutes. You can't even talk about this. Chouameni was benched today. Kamavinga was not playing. Who the hell is Arda Güler to start immediately? Like, are you kidding me? He's really good, but you can't just bench people for Arda Güler. It's not gonna happen. Varun, we're not playing bad. If you remember halftime talks, I said this is like I like how we play. I mean, I don't know how you guys didn't see it, but I saw the fire, I saw the connection, I saw, it's because Chouameni was not there. We had an extra midfielder. It was a little bit, but I don't know if you guys notice. Um, they've decided, and this is probably Carlo Ancelotti, and some of you will not notice this. This is the thing. You guys will not see it, but Militao and Rudiger started throwing a lot of through balls towards Vinny and Mbappe, jumping completely the midfield. That kind of like started everything. Am I going to watch Bayern Barca? Yeah, probably. Probably that's the game I'm gonna watch. Yeah, Vinny was like a demon today. It was like 90th, 80th minute, 85th minute. The guy was running like it's like minute one. Where did he find that strength and energy and I don't get it. I mean, he was literally just blazing past players. I guess I don't remember any game actually in the history of Real Madrid that Vinny was this good. I remember there were some really good games, but this was he just went insane. This was like crazy, crazy, crazy game. And this might be the turning game in the season. I've been waiting for this kind of game to happen. This might be the turning point where we change the way we play. And unfortunately, it's gonna have to be Chouameni out. Chouameni is not. is just slowing down things. And we need another midfielder, unfortunately. Tchouaméni can start if we have flamboyant fullbacks. Well, we don't. So until we get like really good fullbacks, we need to bench Tchouaméni. Otherwise, we're gonna struggle in creativity. Sakin played himself by going. No, I don't think that was it. He took away their right back, Rainerson, whatever his name is, basically their best defender. And then once he pulled that guy out, Vinny had like way more freedom. That guy was on Vinny's ass, man. I'm telling you, you guys, you know, some of you, somebody posted, I would buy that guy today for my right back, Rainerson, whatever his name is, from Borussia. He gave Vinny hell the first game and this game too, but the moment he went out, it was like game over for them. We won't find it easy against Barcelona. Honestly, I don't see us winning that match. Wow, what a way of thinking. Really, after this kind of game, you're going to come with that bullshit. Come on, man. When are you guys going to learn to be optimistic? This is Real Madrid. This is not some, you know, third division team. Honestly, I don't see us winning. I will never say that. Never say that. Ever. After a game like this, where we literally destroyed Borussia in like 45 minutes. We can do the same against Barcelona, by the way. You know. It's just our, you know, world. Everybody else belongs to it. Cheers. You got to learn to be optimistic. You got to learn to be a Real Madrid fan. And Real Madrid fan, the number one quote is Real Madrid nunca se rinde. Real Madrid never gives up. You're supposed to be the last guy to say that. The last guy. Yeah. I think Barcelona game will be actually way better than I ever, you know, thought it's gonna be, because this changes everything. This gives us perspective of what we can do. Now, we tried a little bit of those through balls. I really like them. Militao sending some through balls to Vinny. We don't have to build from the back. We don't have to. Just go skip the midfield. Pass the ball towards Vinny. Vinny's gonna get it. Vinny's gonna get it. Mbappe's gonna get it. I think on halftime that was the change of strategy. And if you guys go and rewatch the game, just pay attention the difference between first and second half. And this is Carlo Ancelotti, by the way. He set this up. All of a sudden, Rudiger and Militao are sending these through balls, and surprisingly precise through balls to Vinny and Mbappe. So there's another unlock in our strategy. So maybe in future will be somebody else, but they both were very precise. Both Militao and Rudiger were really good with their long balls towards Vinny. Yeah. Skip the midfield. You skip the midfield when you don't have creative. When you have like a demons that run as fast as Mbappe and Vinny, you skip the midfield. Yes. You don't have to always do it, but come on, man. Like 4 or 5 balls that Militao sent just literally annihilated the defense. I mean, if Vinny could have scored a direct pass from Rudiger, he just didn't get that ball perfectly. Bro, what do you think? Will Madrid buy us central back this winter? And what about Arnold? I mean, I don't think the central back is actually the biggest concern, even though we are a little bit thin. The fullbacks are our biggest problem. We also conceded pretty bad goals. Fullbacks were badly positioned and made our receivers look foolish. True, but at the same time, you gotta understand, this is Borussia Dortmund. We play football here. We can't shut down everybody, you know. Goals will get in, you know. I mean, they concede so many goals too, and they have such a good defense. So it's like you gotta outscore people, you know. And I really like the comeback, because that shows that if Real Madrid puts their mind to it, they can actually score 5.5. Yeah, sure, Barcelona is not Dortmund, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be pessimistic on my team after this kind of win. I'm not gonna do it. After 5 goals in one half, I'm not gonna do pessimism. I'd rather be optimistic. It's about reality. Reality is not even about reality. Reality is not about reality. You know, faith and positivity is what reality is. What makes reality. You know, if you're pessimistic things will happen. You just get into a constant loop of pessimism. I keep trying to teach you guys, but you guys don't believe me. What does it help you to be pessimistic? Does it help you to be depressed and negative about the team? Or even if it's 2-0, you keep believing that we're going to win? You enjoy the games way better like that, trust me. If you're like, oh my God, we're 2 down, the world's ending. You have to learn how to watch football. Some of you don't know, honestly. I'm just trying to teach you. Be optimistic, be positive, cheer up until 90th minute, 95th, whatever, and then give up. But don't give up before the game ends. Not if you watch Real Madrid. Madrid shouldn't be playing this way. Apart from Vinny, there's nothing to say or analyze about Madrid. Go watch Kian Sobani with his analysis. Don't watch me. I'm a straightforward guy. You know? We're going to watch GAs and pass accuracies and blah, 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 all that garbage. I told you in halftime, I love this. I love how this game is going. I love how we play, even though we're 2-0 down. And everybody was like, what the hell is he talking about? Well, this is what I'm talking about. I've watched this team for way too long. I know what they can do. And today was that day. And you got to pick up from situations like this. Next time you're 1 or 2-0 down, remember this game. Remember this game and remember that we can always score 3 or 4, you know? We have the best players in the world. Yeah, sell Vinicius and buy it right back. Yeah, he said sell Vinicius. Vinicius are literally, guys, I give shit to Vinicius all the time about his arrogancy, but ever since he literally stopped just worrying about douchebags in the stands, because that's what they are. They're just douchebags. There's always going to be douchebags. You don't have to focus. It's the same thing as focusing on negativity and pessimism. Focus on the positive people. Focus on the people that love you. Vinny has been focusing on football for the last few games, and he has been excelling. He's good, but now he's great. Today he was great. He didn't focus on whining, on bitching, and arguing with the referee, arguing with it was 2-0. He didn't get bitter. Usually he gets bitter, and he makes even more mistakes. But today, he stayed level-headed. And look at the result, 5-2. That's the same thing about negativity, the same thing about racism. Don't focus on bad things, I don't want him to feed 3 people in the stadium with the hatred. There's 96% of the people that love him. So that's basically why I'm always trying to kind of preach to people. Just don't get stuck with a few douchebags. They'll always be there, Today he focused on football, and look what it took him. With literally one of the, if not the best game I've ever watched Vinny Jr. played. This was like literally like magic. I'm gonna rewatch the second half like 50 times by Sunday. Stay positive. Even if you're down 3-0, it doesn't matter, It's Real Madrid. And then when the final whistle happens, you get disappointment only for a little bit. But you get 90 minutes of belief and, faith in a win. If you give up on halftime, then how do you enjoy it? You don't give up. You always keep believing in this team. I mean, I don't know how many instances you think it's the players, Real Madrid. There's a lot of teams out there who have like pretty good players. Only Real Madrid pulls off shit like this. It's because this entire fan base, an entire atmosphere around team is created. This atmosphere of belief and positivity. That's why we're like winning. It's not only the players, you know. Go around and you'll see there's so many teams with beautiful players, with amazing players. But at the end, Real Madrid is the one that just, you know, creates magic. And this is magic. This was magic today. Anyways, I'm in a really good mood. Had a day off today. Got to watch the game, enjoyed it fully, and now, you know, I'm gonna wait for the Barcelona game, and I'm gonna watch it in a bar, and we'll see if I'm gonna go live maybe at the bar. But anyways, this was one of the best games, I mean, in a long time. I mean, definitely the best game of the season, but in a long time. It lifted me up. Like, I struggled with this team. But I told you guys, I'm gonna give them a year if needed, 2 years if needed be. We can't just turn things around, you know, and just hope this team kind of stays on top and wins Champions League, even though we lost majority of our legends. Sincerely speaking, do you think the signing of Mbappe is affecting the team in negative way? Of course it is, but the thing is about that is it's temporary. I mean, we played 4-3-3 with Benzema. Benzema is also forward. Mbappe is a machine, bro. Mbappe has 8 goals in a really bad season. Imagine when he has actually a good season. Imagine when he actually starts kicking in all 4 cylinders. Mbappe is literally, you know, right there with Vinny. It used to be easy pickings that Mbappe is the best player in the world. Now we have Vinny, because Vinny is just excelled so much in the last 2 years. It's incredible. Nobody ever, you know, could predict this kind of like development. That Vinny actually is going to be better than Mbappe. Like, you guys remember 2 years ago, you could not even put Vinny, even though Vinny was winning champions, you could not put Vinny in the same sentence as Mbappe. So, but I have no doubts that Mbappe will be banging goals left and right. You know, he scores 40 goals a season, bro. Are you kidding me? But more important is we have to have Rodrigo in the lineup. Because with Rodrigo in the lineup, that was the difference today. Rodrigo, you know, people like kind of like they're sleeping on him taking a lot of attention on the right. Vinny has so much more freedom when Rodrigo is right there, because somebody has to cover Rodrigo too. The entire defense have to shift a little bit towards him. If there's no Rodrigo, if we played the 4-4-2 that we played, Vinny is locked. There's 2 players all the way on his side. So it's like not the same. That's why we need to play this 4-3-3. We have to play it. We have to. We have to play it for the sake of Vinny getting more space to operate. And today there was no shifting. I don't know if you guys noticed, there was no rotation of positions. Kylian Mbappe was center, Vinny was left, Rodrigo was right. They did not rotate. I think Carlo told them, like, listen, let's just not do this for today. It's too hard to adapt. You don't know when to do it. We don't want to risk it for the day. So they stick to their positions. I mean, it's all a process. You guys, this is all a process. There's so many small details that you guys don't notice that are happening in the background, and you only need time and games to adjust. So let's be patient. I mean, look at us. We're like 3 points behind Barcelona, even with this supposedly shitty form that we're having. You know, we're like 3 points behind Barcelona, and we're like doing good in the Champions League. We changed the entire squad, for God's sake. We lost our best right back. Toni Kroos left, Benzema left, everybody left. And we're still doing good. We're still doing good. Without spending money. We didn't even spend money. This team is ran like a well-oiled machine. Even if we do struggle, we're like 1 or 2 players away from like insanely good squad. I look at Man United after $1 billion spent. They literally need to change the entire team. It's not always about the money. You have to plan, you have to make long-term goals. You have to stick to those goals. You have to restrain from like, knee-jerk buys that just happen. Like, I have an opportunity to buy this player, we're gonna buy it. Maybe this is the only situation with Mbappe, but we always wanted Mbappe. So trust in this process. Like, I know it's like a cliche to say trust in the process, but really trust in the process. I mean, we're literally in a transition and we're still like, keeping up with the best out there. And we're still like, I mean, losing Benzema and Kroos, that's like huge. It's you guys don't understand how hard other teams cope with this kind of stuff. We did it perfectly. We have like a bunch of players. I still think that the hardest decision will be what to do with Aurelien Tchouaméni. I really like Tchouaméni, but I don't really think he is the right fit for this team, because you need way more industrious defensive midfielder than Aurelien. Unfortunately, he's not good offensively. He is really good defensively, but that's not enough. And I don't know how we gonna make this midfield creative if we keep Aurelien, because we already have Fede, and Fede is also not creative. Fede is a different type of guy. So Aurelien can stay only if we get 2 very creative and flamboyant fullbacks. If we get Trent Alexander, and if we get Davis, for example, Aurelien can work. But if we have the likes of Mendy and, I mean, Lucas Vazquez is basically the best option, even though, he's a little bit more creative than anybody else. He's like a wing back that plays. Lucas Vazquez started as a wing back his career. He got shifted to the right back. I'm of the opinion of those Madridistas that want Mendy out. He doesn't do much for me, unlike the days of Marcel. But is he defending that is making Carlo believe in him so much? Fran Garcia. Mendy, you have to understand. Mendy used to work very well when we had a very creative midfield. I don't think that anybody in Real Madrid planned for Toni Kroos to leave. And the moment he left, we didn't make the right preparation to kind of shift towards more creative left back. But if you have Kroos and Modric, you don't really need Mendy. You play through the midfield. But right now, with these creatively limited midfielders, now Mendy's lack in creativity is even more obvious. So it's not like Mendy. It's not like Mendy is the problem. Mendy is just fit for a midfield that's really good. Like, he would be really good in City. In Barcelona, he would even be good, because Mendy is rock solid in defense. Rock solid. He made a mistake today, fine, but he's rock solid in defense. He's just not good offensively. And you always have to have one defensive fullback and one creative. And we have none. We have none. I mean, Fran Garcia is good only if you have a target man, like Joselu. His crosses are pretty good, but Kylian Mbappe is not a forward. So you see how all these things are getting like very entangled, and it's all because Toni Kroos suddenly just decided to leave. That's literally it. I don't think that the club was actually planning for him to leave. So he kind of dark. Pozdrav. It's a little bit. I think everybody got caught off guard with the Toni Kroos departure, and Mendy now looks even more problematic because we don't have that midfield that can create. But if we're gonna keep this midfield, we have to change the fullbacks. If we're gonna change the fullbacks, we have to change the midfield. We have to. If you're gonna play with the Mendy on the left, you gotta get a Bernardo Silva in, or you gotta get somebody who's like really creative, like this Brandt guy. Like I would get him today from Borussia. They don't want to sell him, but this Brandt guy today, sign him literally. Don't let him go to Borussia Dortmund. And that's about it. There's a lot of intricacies you guys are not seeing. You need a little bit of experience, and in time you'll start noticing these things. But you gotta see the entire generation go, become a little bit wiser, and see where the cracks are. The problem is Toni Kroos left suddenly. Now we're exposed in the fullbacks. That's what it is. We also need to talk about the two goalies. Do you really see Lunin be number one in Madrid? No, he's not. He's never going to be number one. Thibaut's going to be, and then somebody else. Lunin can be a backup. Vitinha is pretty good player, but not the player that we want. We need industrious defensive midfielder. Somebody like Luka Modric, which literally does not exist, and it will probably not exist. And Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos defensively was insanely good. Insanely good. Toni Kroos and Luka Modric for the virtuous forward, for a virtuous creative players that they used to be, they were also extremely good in defense. Like we need a Xabi Alonso type of guy. We need a Yaya Touré type of guy. We need Steven Gerrard type of guy. We need Paul Scholes type of guy. I don't think Aurelien Tchouameni is that. I'm sorry. I don't think he is. I don't really... Lunin is overrated. I don't care if Ukraine is under attack. Lunin himself is overrated. You know, people are just having a little bit soft spot. Yeah, but I also told you a bunch of other players. I told you Nicolo Barella. I mean, is he available? Right now, at this moment, nobody comes to mind. Honestly, Rodri would be the best, you know. But Man City is not going to get rid of him. And Rodri had like insane injury. But Rodri is your type of player that can do it all. We need a creative defensive midfielder if we are to play with this midfield. Camavinga can be that. I don't think if he wants to, but we can't go with Tchouameni. Tchouameni is too defensive and doesn't really offer a lot in attack. And it's not because Tchouameni is the bad player. It's just because if you play Tchouameni, you need two other very creative midfielders. Like Casemiro used to be like very similar to Tchouameni. But the thing is, we had Toni Kroos and Luka Modric who could just do everything. Right now, you have Tchouameni, you have Fede. Fede is a right winger, man. Fede is not even a midfielder. People really don't get it. Bellingham is also not creative. He doesn't do the Bellingham movement off the ball and Bellingham movement when he receives the ball is not that of a playmaker. He's too slow. He doesn't really do quick passes. He's kind of like methodical, and he likes to dribble. He likes to hold the ball like Zizou. I think Bellingham will get there in like 3-4 years, but right now, no, he can't be like sole playmaker. Like Luka Modric literally is played, bro. You see, we cannot even do a game without Luka Modric. That's the sad part. Without Luka Modric, we can't. If you take Luka Modric out of this team, it'll be like sadness. It'll be like sadness. I mean, we're playing a 39-year-old guy. We have so many players in our team. There is nobody to replace these guys. It's just hard to find a position like that. Rodri, basically. I don't know. There's not many of them. You know, even generationally, I can tell you like there were few of them. You know, Xabi Alonso type of player, Steven Gerrard. You know, Paul Scholes. We didn't have a player like that in a long time. Redondo. We didn't have a player like that in a while. Bellingham is creative on the upper part of the field. It's not creative in the midfield or behind the midfield. You're surprised. Zizou was not a, Zizou is a 10. He's not a playmaker. He is a Messi type of player. Zizou never, Zizou was good running with the ball. He was not passing. He was a 10, and Jude is a 10 also. He's a traditional 10. He's a little bit better than a traditional 10, yes, but not Luka Modric type of guy who can get the ball, turn around, and pass it in a blink of an eye. Takes a little bit of time. I'm watching from Liberia. Greetings to Liberia, my friend. So, no, we don't have a player like that in the team. The last one is Luka Modric. My hope was that we're gonna turn Arda Güler into that, but I'm not sure if the guy is capable. And also, if we do that, we have to get rid of Tchouaméni. There's so many decisions to be made here. It's not really easy. Somebody will have to be sacrificed, unfortunately. What after Luka? Nothing. We're not going to talk about it. Luka's going to stay for another year, bro. I told you. Luka's not going anywhere. He's going to go for another year. He seems pretty good. Like people were talking shit about him in the halftime. I didn't see anything bad. He was playing really good. He was literally holding us together today. You take Luka out of that team, we fall apart immediately. Fall apart, you know. Young Papi Best. Bellingham is an upper midfield creativity type of player. It's behind a forward. He even says it. He doesn't want to play behind the midfield. He wants to play behind forwards. Another Di Maria or Ozil type. Kushal. Oh man, don't cry now. I ignored you. Good to listen to your post. Much talk again. Used to listen back in 2021. Awesome. Yeah. I don't usually do these post games, but today was like a pretty good game. Arda can be creative. Can he take Luka's place? But again, Luka played today because we benched Tchouaméni. These are the decisions I'm talking about. Tchouaméni was benched. Camavinga was not even playing. Fed and Jude will start. You have another midfielder. If you decide to go with Arda, then Camavinga and Tchouaméni will leave. Especially Tchouaméni. There's only space for one of those three. It's not easy, man. And then teaching Arda to be a midfielder is gonna be hard. Also, I want to say something about Soumya Ray, another Di Maria Ozil type. Again, those two are not playmakers. Di Maria is a winger. Carlo Ancelotti moved him into the AMC or 10 position, but Di Maria, is not like real central midfielder. He's AMC, just like Jude, just like Ozil. You need somebody. It's way more difficult to be the position behind the midfield line is way more difficult than the upper midfielder. It's not the same. Somebody has to be gone, that's for sure. Arda's too good to be sold. Yeah, Arda's pretty good, but he'll have to prove himself. And not only he'll have to prove himself, he will have to become a very versatile player. He needs to play in 3 or 4 different positions, just like everybody else. Like Fede used to be a right winger up until recently. Right wing. Like Carlo loved to play in right wing. You think Arda's gonna be sold? I don't think so. I think Arda's not gonna be sold. I really, really don't think. Unless he requests a move, I don't think he will be sold. Because he's one of the few players that can actually learn few different positions. Di Maria and Ozil. Di Maria and Ozil got sold. Ozil got sold because he demanded a lot of money and his dad was forcing him. And Real Madrid said no. And the same thing happened with Di Maria. Di Maria, after the Champions League, demanded a salary bump. Real Madrid didn't want to do it. And he left. And then Manchester United paid 98 million for him. Like something crazy, like 90 million, which is... And we had Bale. So, yeah, give me the money. I mean, I would have never sold Di Maria. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But 90 million? 90 million and fucking... You have Bale on top of that. You have like all these players. Di Maria, he had no spot in the team. It was Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema. I mean, they didn't have spot for freaking Mbappe in that time, bro. And Ozil was too arrogant. Ozil wanted like improved contract and fuck Ozil, to be honest. I don't like people like him. I have this feeling that Madrid will one day bring back Odegaard. I don't. No. Odegaard treated Madrid really bad. He demanded a transfer. He's gone. Real Madrid doesn't go after players who demand transfer. The moment you want transfer in Real Madrid, you're literally scratched from existence. You don't exist. There's like the number one rule in Real Madrid is for you to actually want to play for Real Madrid and to be a fan of the club. If you're not even considered. It doesn't matter who you are. That's you guys have to understand. That's the number one, the simplest option, condition is for you to actually first be a fan of the club, and then everything else. Tchouaméni, Kam, or Fede. I would bet that Tchouaméni will be the one that's gonna go. Unless something drastically changes, you have to understand Tchouaméni is France national team main defensive midfielder. Usually Florentino does not just discard that. He plays every single game for France, so it's not easy to just say that Tchouaméni will be sold. A lot of people wanted Casemiro sold back in the days, but look at his career in Real Madrid, and people would take huge dumps like I'm doing right now. And I'm not. You got to understand, I'm not taking a dump on Tchouaméni. I praised him so many times this season. I just don't like the style of football we play when he's on. It's too slow, methodical. We can't do jack shit. We got to have somebody faster. All Odegaard had to do was wait for a year. Not really, bro. Think about the time when Odegaard left. And see the year when Odegaard left and see how many years after that Modric played. Odegaard would have never cracked into the first team. He actually was smart to leave. He would have never got it. Never. He would have not. Modric still playing, 39. Odegaard, let's do the math. Odegaard, Martin Odegaard, here he is, 25 years old. Martin Odegaard left Real Madrid 2021. 3 years in a row. We're, you know, and he was on loan. He was on loan for like 3 years and he moved to Arsenal. He would have not get it in the next 3 years. Do I see plays for Florian Wirtz? Yeah, Wirtz pretty good. I like the guy. Yeah, Odegaard is a messy type of player. Odegaard would fit in Barcelona, not in Real Madrid. In Real Madrid, he would not fit. No. He needs to be the main guy. Florian Wirtz. No. No. Because I'll tell you why no. Because the only position we can actually change in a midfield is the defensive midfielder. The defensive midfielder can be a little bit more creative and offensive than what Tchouaméni is. You know, one of my favorite players of all time is Yaya Toure. Like, I love that guy. He was a little bit lazy, but that's the type of guy I want for central. Xavi Alonso. Steven Gerrard. There's not many of them. There's not many of them. Odegaard is doing good at Arsenal. Yeah, he's also made for a team like Arsenal, Barcelona. They play with a 10 who orchestrates the entire midfield, and everything goes through that guy. If that guy fails, everything falls apart. Real Madrid was never gonna. Zubimendi. I mean, apart from this talk, I think we're in a good spot, honestly. We got so many good players. We're like stacked with players. We just need like to make the decision, permanent decision, who are we going with? And that's a good spot to be in, you know. Some teams don't have players. Yeah, this is Real Madrid. But I think like all of this conversation basically will change if we only get flamboyant and creative fullbacks. So basically, you keep the entire midfield. You don't have to sell anybody. You keep Tchouaméni, you keep Camavinga. If we only get 2 really good fullbacks, that's it. That's all you need to do. If we get Trent, yeah. If we get Trent and Davis, maybe we're good. You know, I like Davis, but usually players that fail, I wouldn't say fail, but usually players that don't get roots in Bayern Munich, I want to stay away from. And I don't know. I just have like this feeling about Davis. I'm not a huge fan of him, to say the least. And yeah, we had to talk about this. I don't know if we talk about in the halftime, or I don't remember if we talk about in the chat with my guys, but I also said that Trent is not really good at defense. But this is the difference. So if you play with like a flamboyant fullback, you basically send the fullback forward, or he plays as a wingback. Basically, you have 3, and then the wingback is on the left, and then Tchouaméni is literally in line with him on the wingback. The moment the wingback goes forward, whoever is left center back goes left, and then Tchouaméni slots back in as a center back. That's how wingback position works. This is how Marcelo used to work. Marcelo would attack and Casemiro would go in defense. That's basically what you would do with a flamboyant left back. It's like he turns into a winger basically, and that's how you play with fullbacks. Right now, we don't play that because we don't have fullbacks. DiMarco, he's injury prone, bro. He's constantly injured. No, this is Real Madrid, bro. It's not. No. I used to like DiMarco a lot, but just not. I don't think he lived to the promise. You know. So yeah, those are the two options. I think one of the option is we find some monster defensive midfielder that's like everything. That's box to box, a playmaker and a defensive midfielder, or we change the fullbacks, which I think we are going to do. I think the next two positions we're focusing on are going to be the fullbacks. It's gonna be left back and right back, and man, did we exhaust the players that we buy. We take all of their juices out before we move on, and we're experts in that. We're experts. We're doing really, really good when it comes to taking the maximum out of players, man. Look at Lucas Vasquez, bro. I like what what's his name? Ray Hudson said, like, how many games has Lucas Vasquez played, and he only has 8 games for the national team. Real Madrid utilizes players like no one. Like no one. Look at Lucas Vasquez, man. He's ancient, my man. Ancient. How many years has he played in Real Madrid? Let's see. 2015. 9 years now. He went 1 year on loan, and that was it. And he has 28 goals in 253 games. He started off as a winger. He got slotted back in the right back, and now he's a right back. People forget that he's a winger. He's not a right back. Trent Alexander. But I don't think that we're waiting for the next big left back from Brazil. We are buying only left backs from Brazil. Whoever plays left back from Brazil, that's the guy we buy. Like, for example, I like Alexander Lino. What's his name, Alexander Lino? No, what's his name, dude? That's like French Samuel. Why the hell did I say Alexander? Samuel Diaz. 24 years, doesn't get too many games at Atletico Madrid. That is the guy I would buy if Atletico is willing to sell. Like, I don't know why, but I really like that guy. Doesn't get used a lot in Atletico. Lino, let's see how many games he played. Player profile. 2 appearances. Wow. Was he injured or something? Yeah, because he usually plays left midfield. And he's been played as a left back. That's why I like him. Because he's actually a left winger. He's left midfielder. He's not a left back. And Cholo wants to convert him into left back. But for example, Lino, I love him. We're in a good spot. We have too many young players. Future is safe. We just need few, either few transfers or change of strategy, or we even have the players in our team. We can just sell some players and just reshuffle, the depth. I mean, Arda is pretty good prospect. I don't know where Arda can play. Yeah, Theo is pretty good. I like Theo. And his brother too, Lucas. But take some Clásico. I don't know, man. Barcelona's in some really, really good form. They've been playing lights out, my man. Barca. I'm a little bit scared. But they do this, and then they show up in our, you know, ooh, how Torres scores 2 goals. Are you kidding me, my man? Oh, this is Pablo Torre, some guy from the freaking La Masia. Scores 2 goals for Barca. But we're gonna bring them back to reality. We're just gonna take them, bring them back. This is where you belong. Under Real Madrid, the table. We'll see. We'll see. Gotta trust this team. We're gonna bring them to reality. I mean, I watched them in Champions League. They were like struggling. They're pretty good in La Liga. I don't know why. For some reason, they're really gliding in La Liga, man. Someone would think that they have paid some of their games, you know. Um, so yeah, I think Bayern's gonna take their scalp tomorrow, too, and then we're gonna beat them, and all of a sudden their season's over. They're pretty good. The good thing about Barcelona is that Lewandowski started actually scoring goals. Last year he was the problem. He would not score, man. He had so many chances, so many opportunities that he missed, but he was not good. This year, he's good. And Lamine Yamal, Pedri, they're getting their full squad healthy. Gavi, beast. Gavi, Pedri. Pedri, he's good, but I just don't trust that guy. He's going to get injured again. Yeah, DeMarco was injured in the past. Injury prone in the past, yes. Let me just check real quick. He played only 13 games in Parma. Yeah, he that's 2000 2048 and 106 games in 3 years with Inter, which is pretty good. Maybe I'm mistaking him with somebody else. Yeah, that's the guy. No, he's not injury prone. I'm mistaken something. Who am I mistaking him with? Let me see. Was this? Was there another DiMarco? Pedri's done already. Really? Don't tell me he got injured again. He's 21 years old, by the way. Don't forget. Yeah, that no, that's not a lot of games for DiMarco. Yeah, good night. Please change your name because I cannot call you Young Poppy all the time. Young Poppy Best. Come on, man, grow up. Um, yeah. All right. It's the hazard effect. Listen, I'm tired also, and I got a few beers in, and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna. My daughter's coming back from the daycare, so I need to prepare. That was a good game. It was a good day and a good game, and I fully enjoyed today. I hope we continue with this. If we beat Barcelona, it'll be best. Like Taribo Vest or George Best. Right, guys. Thanks for sticking out. 15 of you that's still here lingering. But I hope you like this 1 hour post game video. We might do some other ones. I just value my time a lot. I really I can't do this too often, but I'll try. I promise. Hello, Madrid, and see you in the next one. And this was a pretty good game. Stay positive for the next game.